Oh, we gotta flip it around this way. I hope this is okay. Let's see. We're gonna lean it up against here. Wow, I'm ill prepared here. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Gabe, and welcome to Coffee Talk number 12. I am your host as we talk coffee and talk our channel, talk whatever you want to talk about. This is an opportunity for you to get to know me and my family a little bit better. We are Our Simple Story. We're a family-based YouTube channel that does everything from visiting points of interest on the globe to challenging ourselves to survive extreme conditions or accomplish feats like traveling down rivers and you name it. So we just like to have fun and grow closer as a family and hopefully bring you great content in doing so. I am here with a strong cup of Folgers, a bowl of Tabasco heavy laden Tabasco. I don't know how to say that. Grits. This is I eat my grits with butter, Tabasco, salt, and pepper, and so I will occasionally be taking a bite of said grits as I eat my breakfast here. But it is Sunday morning, December the 18th, and it is 9 o'clock in the morning, and I can't believe we're 12 episodes into these live things, 12 coffee talks, and we got a lot on the agenda today, and this is an opportunity, like I said, for you guys to express thoughts, questions, comments. Let me go ahead and make sure that I can see your comments, because sometimes YouTube, okay, live chat, all messages are visible. So I can now see your comments. If you're watching this live, I can see and I can talk back to you. You can talk to me. You can ask me any question you like, and I reserve the right to answer or not answer that question. But yeah, if you're not watching this live, if you're watching after the fact, I'm sorry you missed it, but you can still comment below, and I'd be happy to read those comments. And I do read every single comment that comes in from our channel. So I want to start off entitling this coffee talk. The theme of this coffee talk is the unforeseen, or we could say maybe even the subconscious benefits of suffering. And let me take a swig of coffee here. What do you think about that? So I'm reading a book right now, almost completely through the book, called Up From Slavery. It is written by a man who has quickly become a hero of mine and a role model of mine, and that is a man by the name of, Booker T. Washington. Sorry, my kickstand is not working very well here this morning on my phone. Booker T. Washington grew up a slave, and all he knew was slavery until he was freed after the Civil War and the Emancipation Proclamation. And then he went on to work in coal mines for his stepdad and lived in deep, deep poverty for much of his childhood and his adolescence. And this man worked very hard just to kind of scratch out an existence. And then in the meantime, or in his free time, you gonna join me? This is Noah. You guys maybe know Noah from some of our videos. And he's got a bowl of grits as well here. Would you put sugar in your grits? That's weird. Okay. Well, this man, Booker T. Washington, worked so hard, and even in his excess time, you know, when we would normally sit on the couch and relax and rest from working so hard, he would actually go to school a couple hours a day and just learn how to read. And this man was so determined and motivated to want to gain an education somehow in the 1800s, in the Deep South in 1800s. Bear in mind that was very unheard of for a black man in the Deep South in the Reconstruction era to have access to good education. Well, very long story short, he gains that education and he goes on to start a university now called Tuskegee University. At the time it was called Tuskegee Institute. And hey, in a second, would you do me a favor and get the cotton off of the piano? Okay. So, fascinating book and an amazing read. I highly recommend you check out Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington. It quickly has become one of my heroes and one of my favorite books. But in the book, you could say his entire life is themed around this idea of suffering. And this idea of working very hard and straining and failing and succeeding and working for every penny that this man ever owns. But another interesting theme and a dynamic in this man's life is the fact that he is never bitter. He's always happy. He's always very satisfied with what he has. He's always very content. Yet he wants to gain an education. He wants to further his career prospects, not for himself and not for, you know, his own quality of life and his own comfort, but to lift others of his race up out of poverty, up from slavery, you could say, in the South. And that's kind of the focal point of his whole book and his whole life. The forefront of his mind is lifting other people up out of poverty and giving them the means to be able to do so as well. But he's, you know, suffered so much in his book and went hungry so much. And it reminded me of how people who have very little exposure to suffering are some of the most unhappy people that we can encounter in the world. And I thought, why is that the case? You know, why? They should be very happy and fulfilled, but they're the ones that are always searching for some kind of deeper meaning in their life, and very sad and lonely. And it's the people who seem to have to work hard, the people who seem to have experienced some degree of suffering in their life, who seem to be the most fulfilled and the happiest. And that seems counterintuitive to me. And I got to thinking, you know what? It seems evident to me that suffering is actually good for a human being. And suffering is actually, let me say it this way, maybe not good, but it has benefits for humans. And I have kind of thought about it and enumerated 4 benefits that I have been able to kind of derive from suffering. And you may have experienced suffering in your life. Maybe you experienced poverty in your life, or maybe you're experiencing it now, or maybe you've experienced abuse or loss in your life. But did you know that there's possible benefits to that suffering? And the first of those benefits, I believe, is that suffering motivates us to act. If you're really suffering, you don't want to stay in that condition of suffering. You want to do something to get yourself out of that suffering. Benjamin Franklin once said, "I am for doing good to the poor." Benjamin Franklin was a founding father of the United States of America. He said, "I am for doing good to the poor, but I think the best way of doing good to the poor is not making them easy in their poverty, comfortable in their poverty, but leading them or driving them out of it. I've observed," he says, "that the more public provisions were made, the less they provided for themselves, and of course became even poorer. And on the contrary, the less was done for them, the more they did for themselves, and thus became richer." And that's Benjamin Franklin talking, and I think it's a very wise statement. In other words, we have to make people uncomfortable in their poverty sometimes, but maybe you've been uncomfortable, and that motivated you to want to do something. So, you know, like, maybe you've been, like, on a much lesser note, lighter note, you've been camping or something before, and it's really cold, and you're like, "Oh man, it's just too cold," or the rain's pouring down, the mosquitoes are driving you crazy. Let's go get a hotel room. Let's go work hard and book a hotel and move everything into that hotel room and better our condition right now. So that motivated you to change your condition. So, for instance, like if you're really experiencing poverty right now, economic poverty, and you're wondering where your next rent payment is going to come from, too much of that is going to produce in you a desire to want to change your circumstances somehow. And it's going to motivate you to want to pick up a second job, or it's going to motivate you to want to further your education so you can get out of this rut that you're in. So suffering motivates you. The second benefit of suffering that I've kind of extrapolated is that suffering helps us relate to humans and empathize to humans a little bit better, those humans who are going through suffering themselves. So when we get on the other side of suffering, let's say, and we experience a hardship, we can look back and then tell other people, "Hey, it's going to be okay. I went through that thing," or "I went through something similar. You'll be okay. I went through it. You'll go through it." So it enables us to empathize with people and to comfort people who are in suffering, in times of suffering as well. The third Oh, and that would be called emotional perceptiveness, okay? So let's take our friend Booker T. Washington, for instance. The man probably ended his life, in those standards, a little bit wealthy, okay? He started off a slave with absolutely nothing, didn't even own himself, to ending up free and a little bit wealthy and highly educated and highly renowned in the nation. But because he had gone through with suffering and poverty, Booker T. Washington could look at people who are still in deep poverty in the South and say, I know exactly what you're going through. I have been there. I've walked in those shoes. And here's what I did to get out of that. Let me help you. Let me coach you through that or whatever. So suffering can motivate us. It prompts us to do something. Suffering helps us relate to other people better. It enhances our emotional perceptiveness. The third thing I think suffering does for us is that it causes us to better appreciate the fruits of our suffering, our labor. And it produces like a true, genuine like sense of joy. So for instance, on a much lighter note, you've been hungry before, more than likely, and you think to yourself, you know what, I could eat that bag of chips right there. Or I know that in the refrigerator is a steak, and it's going to take a lot of work to, you know, get charcoal going in the grill and, you know, get that steak marinated and put the seasoning on it, cook that steak and do all this. I could just eat that bag of chips, satisfy my hunger, and get on with my day. Or I could delay that gratification. I could suffer a little bit through those hunger pangs and cook that steak and then enjoy the fruit of that suffering. And that steak is like going to taste so much better. You know, like if you've ever been camping or something, or you've been on a long trip, hiking or backpacking, and you swing into that very first restaurant you go to after that trip, it's like the food tastes amazing. Like Noah and I when we did our 9-day trip on the river, when we were done with it, we celebrated by going to Five Guys Burgers and Fries. And Five Guys has an amazing cheeseburger. It's so good. But when we came off the river after 9 days of living off of like ramen noodles, we came up with like having to eat, you know, just tuna out of a can, tuna packets, just a bunch of like frozen, imperishable food, you know, or not frozen, imperishable canned food stuff. And then we went into Five Guys and ate the burger. It was like our taste buds were rejoicing. They were singing with joy. You know, it's like we delayed that suffering made us better appreciate that Five Guys burgers. Now, they didn't change anything about their burger. It's just that we had gone so long without it. We suffered with, you know, not having this amazing food. And we finally did it. It was like, whoa, this is so good, right? So sometimes when you go through suffering, or you go through like, let's say poverty, and you come out on the other side of it, you appreciate that thing so much better. For some people, it may be like, you know, like miscarriages, and they're trying to have a child, and when they finally do have a child and they hold that child in their arms, they love that child on such a deeper level than if they had not gone through those tragedies and that loss. People who grow up in poverty and they maybe start a business, and that business is very successful, they really hone in on watching over and guarding and protecting and fostering the success of that business, because they really do appreciate it. They know how far it brought them. So suffering can motivate us to do something. Suffering helps us better empathize with people. Then suffering, it can cause us to better appreciate the fruits of that suffering. And then the fourth thing I think suffering does for us is that it makes us wiser and stronger. So if you're going through suffering, let's say it's something exterior causing you to suffer, then you know, okay, that person is a toxic person. I should not have a relationship with that person because I suffered from them. That's wisdom that you gained there. Or let's say you do something stupid that causes you to suffer. Like, I don't know, speeding, and, you know, like speeding through a school zone and you get a ticket, right? That's a stupid decision that caused you to suffer. You had to pay for a ticket. You had to go to court or whatever. But you gained wisdom, and you got wiser in that. You got smarter in that. Also, suffering makes you stronger. So if you're a couple, let's say, and you and your spouse go through suffering together, it actually can make your relationship much stronger. So that's what I think. I think we tend to focus a lot of our energies and attentions on avoiding and trying to prevent suffering in our culture, and that's unfortunate. Sometimes I think we should try to avoid it, but when it does come, we should learn and know that there is meaning behind it. It doesn't mean that we should like seek out suffering. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy for you if you're going through any kind of suffering. It doesn't mean that like I'm like, aha, like, you know, you're suffering, get over it, you know, suck it up, move on. It doesn't mean that it's enjoyable or that it's like even just, okay? It could be completely unfair in your life that you're suffering. It just means that your suffering has meaning to it, and you can take it and use it to your advantage. And I hope that helps you or encourages you of some kind. But anyways, check out his book, Up From Slavery. And maybe you guys can think of more benefits to suffering. Maybe you guys can put something in the comments below. Let me know if you've gone through suffering, and if so, what that did for you. Did it change you? Did it reveal things in you? Did it make you stronger? Did I leave one of the benefits out? Maybe I left something out that you want to add, but do that in the comments if you want to. Let me take a bite of grits. You have anything you want to add? And a swig of coffee. Yeah. I'll talk about that momentarily here. So this is the point in our coffee talk where I read a mean comment, a nice comment, and then answer a question comment. For those who don't know, I read every single comment that comes through our channel, 100% of the time. I don't necessarily respond to every comment. I don't necessarily like or love every comment. I don't interact with every comment, but I read every single comment that comes through our channel. Now, as a channel, we're at, I think, we're almost at like 24,000 subscribers, which, you know, I get comments all day long, essentially, that are streaming through. So I read them all. You know, I acknowledge they're there, but I don't interact with them necessarily. But sometimes every once in a while, a mean comment will stand out to me, and I like to read it because, I don't know, the internet is so easy. It's so easy to be mean on the internet. And it's so easy to kind of sit behind a keyboard and to type something mean to someone if you're not sitting there face to face with them and talking to them. So what I like to do is actually show them my face as I read their comment. And it kind of makes it feel awkward for them, hopefully. But also shows them that, like, hey, even though you are a jerk, even though you are mean and you are rude, it's okay. I still care about you. And I'm glad that you have a platform to be able to be mean to me and to have the freedom to do that. And I respond differently than you might think I would respond. So this mean comment is from a user on YouTube called DenCat55. So DenCat, I hope I'm saying that right. He says on a video that we did, I think it was a knife review video.
K-bar?
Yeah, I think it was the K-bar video where we tested out we torture tested these K-bars. He said, "Sorry, you lost all cred. Driving a Toyota? Question mark, question mark, question mark. F you." So I read that and I chuckled to myself. I laughed to myself because I drive a Toyota 4Runner. It's a 2002 Toyota 4Runner.
I like 4Runners.
Yeah, I like them for him. But I think his thing was like, we're comparing these knives. One is an American-made knife, and then one is a Chinese-made knife. And we were obviously like showing the quality of the American knife was better than the Chinese knife. And I think he was saying like, you're kind of being a hypocrite. You should buy American-made cars. And I get your point. Like, you know, to be consistent, like I should buy American-made cars. Well, here's the thing, like, Toyota makes a really quality car. There's no denying that. Like, Toyotas are good cars and they're great manufacturer of cars. And personally, my personal opinion, even though DenCat55 clearly disagrees with this, is that many of Toyota's products are of better quality and superior quality than U.S.-made products. U.S.-made vehicles, I should say. Now, that is very unfortunate. I wish U.S. car manufacturers I wish it was the other way around. But right now, it just doesn't seem to be the case. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my 4Runner before you cast any more judgment on my 4Runner and me liking Toyota. It's not that I'm like a big Toyota fan. So when I met my wife, Stacy, for the very first time we hung out, it was going to be at a beach with a bunch of college friends of ours. And I always loved 4Runners. I liked the look of 4Runners and Toyota Tacomas and stuff. And, you know, even in the late 90s, I used to draw pictures of Tacomas and stuff and 4Runners. And then when I saw Stacy pull up in a 2002 Toyota 4Runner, the one that I drive, the one that didn't Cat 55, said that ruined all my cred. She pulled up in that 4Runner. That was her car. And for me, it was like love at first sight. No, but for me, I was like, wow, that's a really pretty car. Like, it's a beautiful car. And you know, even more beautiful woman inside the car. So I married her, and we drove that car for 10 years. We shared that car. It was paid off. We drove it all over the place, all over the country, all over Florida, back, you know, just all over the place. We put a lot of miles on that car. And in 10 years of being married, that was the only car we ever had. You know, we were on a single income. I was a teacher, and I wasn't making like huge amounts of money or anything. So for us to have a paid off car, that was a big, you know, financial blessing to us. Well, eventually we were able to save up enough money where we were able to buy an additional vehicle, and we bought, you know, Stacy a van. Our family was growing in size, and we needed more seats in our car, so we had 3 boys at the time. So I went ahead, we bought a minivan, a Toyota minivan. And yeah.
Also, some of our family members had one, and we kind of liked it. So
Yeah, it was a reliable car. So I took the 4Runner as my car, and then she took the van as her car. So both cars paid off. Like, you know, it's like, it was a big blessing to us. But that car, the 4Runner, now has 255,000 miles on it, and has never broken down on me, has never left me stranded. And it's just, I mean, it probably will one day, obviously. It's a vehicle that's under the, you know, under the authority of the second law of thermodynamics. It's going to break down, you know, but it's paid off. And it's not like, like I said, it's not like I'm a big Toyota, like, cult member or anything. It's a reliable car that's paid off, and I like the look of it, and it has some sentimental value, seeing as how it was Stacy's before we even started dating. So I keep driving it, and here we are with 3 boys, and Noah is already asking if he will get it when he turns 16 and gets old enough to drive. You want to just drive it, yeah. So Dincat 55, I'm sorry that I lost all cred in your eyes for driving my wife's old 4Runner, her Toyota 4Runner. And I wish that wasn't the case. I wish I had credibility in your eyes still for doing that. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know you, and you don't know me. Your comment was rude, and your comment was mean. Like, you said F you, and I mean, I would like mow your lawn for you if you asked me if you were sick or something like that. So, I mean, that was kind of rude, but like, you know what? I forgive you. And you're probably just angry at something else, and took it out on me and my driving a Toyota 4Runner. So I wish you all the best, and I hope that whatever is causing you this anger and resentment gets healed in your life, and you find resolution in that. But if you're ever in my area, in my neck of the woods, call me up and we'll have lunch together and have coffee together. But hey, maybe I'll even let you drive in my Toyota 4Runner. But anyways, time for a nice comment. This is from Kaiser Sows, and I hope I'm saying that right, Kaiser Sows, maybe. He says, or she says, I'm not sure what the gender is, just found your channel via your shed house video and decided to watch a couple more vids. I'm glad I did. Great material. Thank you, Kaiser. I think I'm saying Kaiser right. I am so glad you did as well, and thank you for joining, and we're happy to have you on board. All right, and now it's time for a question. This question comes from Yippee Skippy. Yippee Skippy is commenting on our tiny house video. We lived in a tiny house. We lived in it for about a year and a half or so. And he says, you had the land, I believe. Why not just put a single wide on the land? No permit, code, or construction issues. Well, Skippy, Yippee Skippy, the land that we had our tiny house on did not belong to us. It belonged to my father. My father, while we were living on that land, unfortunately was diagnosed with a terminal disease called ALS. And he was dying of that disease. We needed to vacate that land and sell off that tiny house because they were going through a lot. My parents were going through a lot during that time of illness and loss, and they needed to sell that land, basically. So we couldn't stay on that land. But I appreciate your question, and it's a very valid question, but that answers it essentially. So today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to skip the weird news portion of the coffee talk, and we're going to go to something I think is exciting. That is, we're nearing the 25,000 subscriber mark. Yeah, don't open that yet. I'm gonna show how to open with this. We're nearing the 25,000 subscriber mark, and I want to do some kind of giveaway or some kind of prize when we hit 25,000 subscribers. Now, I don't want to do it like the 25,000th subscriber, you get this prize, because there's people who've been subscribing to our channel and watching our channel for years now, and been following our videos, and they deserve a chance to get this giveaway. And so I don't want to just give it to like Johnny Come Lately or anything like that. So I'm asking you guys, what should this 25,000 subscriber giveaway thing, what should it entail? Let's do some sort of contest, something fun. What should it entail? Like, what should the contest be? And then what are some recommended prizes that you would like to get? And I would mail these to you, obviously, or have a company mail them to you. But what's something that you want? What's something that would motivate you to want to compete in a contest? And then what are some contest ideas? So put those down in the comments below. I love to read those and maybe pick your brain and some ideas of what we can do. But we're looking at that. So one of the things, yeah, you want to come out here?
What do we have to do?
Oh, we'll talk about it in a minute. Yeah. So one of the things, you can tell this is live. Micah's coming out here. Let me see if I want to talk about this just yet. Yeah, one of the things that will be in this giveaway, and this company just told me this, is this device right here. And I'm going to open this live on camera here. They just sent me one of these. This is from alamatadadesign.com, and it is called the Tring. You can see right here, Tring. And it is a device that you put on the back of your phone. And let me make sure, if you guys have any questions or comments and you want to go ahead and chime in, please do so. Let me make sure I can see those. Sometimes they go away. Okay. So this is a device that this company sent me to show you guys. It's very inexpensive on alamatadadesign.com. But I wanted to show this to you because I thought it was really cool. They asked if they could send this to me and feature in one of my videos, and I looked at it and I was like, you know, I do have companies from time to time ask me if I can do that sort of thing, and I want to make sure that it's a good quality product and make sure that I like the product, first of all, and it fits within the niche of the material here. But this is really cool. Let me show you what this Tring does. This is the first time I've opened it, but okay, so these are the instructions. Do you want to open those? All right, you can see it's in this little foam case here. I hope that's showing up okay. Let's see if we can pop it out. This is so cool. I was really excited to see this because I was like, this is exactly the kind of stuff that I want to talk about and feature on our channel. This, you want to open those up and let's see if there's anything about the composition of the, oh, interesting. So this is the, whoa, okay. All right, cool. I'm getting the hang of it here. Sorry guys, I'm just now opening this product and I'm not sure. Yeah, let's look at the instructions here. What this is, it's a multi-tool. It's a multi-tool that clips on or adheres to the back of your phone, or really anything that you want to put it on. And it's called the Tring, and it's like, you know, it's a tri-ring. And it's like a pop socket survival tool, or pop socket multi-tool. And this company is a new company. They're trying to get some exposure for their product, and they've asked me to help them with that. So I guess you have different options here and how to mount it to your phone. Let me talk about that, and then we'll talk about the different features of this product. But you've got, and this would make a great, like, you know, holiday present, Christmas present of any kind, whatever you're looking to buy right now. This is the time to do it. But yeah, so there's this magnet that you can clip on there. I don't know how I'm gonna get that out. Let me see. You can put a magnet in there and use it that way. And I think it will magnetize to your phone. Wow, that is a strong magnet. I'll work on getting that out later. But then you've also got some adhesive strips, it looks like, that you can use to attach it to the back of your phone. But you can put this on anything. And I think it will detach, yeah, it would detach from your phone because it's magnetic. So you can take it off anytime you want and use it as a multi-tool. So they say it has 6 tools on it, I think it is. 6-in-1 multi-tool. And here are some of the tools. They have an emergency seatbelt cutter, which, let's see, I guess it's this right there. You can see. Does it block radiation and blue light? I don't think so, no. It doesn't. That would be amazing though, right? So this is like a seatbelt cutter. We can test it on the box here. I don't know that I'm doing it right. I wonder if we can test it on this piece of paper. I don't know what kind of edge this has on it. Oh, the paper's so, it's so muggy out. The paper just kind of, here, pull the other side real fast and let's see if we can get it to slice through there. No, the paper is like soggy because it's so humid out here. Anyways, it's got a seatbelt cutter on it. It's got this socket wrench right here. You can see two different types of socket wrench. It's got a screwdriver. It's got a flathead screwdriver, and it's got a Phillips head as well. It's got a bottle opener, and yeah, so different things like that you can use. But it's just kind of a cool little tool, you know. And I wonder if you could put a better edge on that and get that to kind of be like a little knife. But anyways, this, like I said, this company sent this to me, and they want you guys to know about it. And it feels like a quality product, and they put a lot of thought and innovation into this little thing. So it's great for the back of your phone. Like I said, like a little pop socket thing. Yeah.
Especially if you're a ninja. You can...
Yeah, it looks like a ninja star. We should try that. Try to throw it in a couple trees. But I'm going to be featuring this in a different video in the future and talk about testing this thing out and see if it's what it claims to be. And yeah, it's got all these little notches in here for little tools and things. Yeah, so I wonder. Hey, let's try this. I got some 550 cord real fast. Let's try this and see if it. All right, I'm gonna put you in charge of holding that nice and tight. And then let's take the seatbelt cutter on this little thing here and see if we can slice through this.
I don't know, paracord's pretty down.
And again, this is from I think you can see that, alamatadadesign.com. It's called the Tring. All right, so bring it over here so they can see on the camera. Oh, yeah, just get out, bring it over here. Sorry. All right, let's try it. We're gonna take the seatbelt cutter and see if we can cut this 550 cord real fast with it. Oh, yeah, sweet. So yeah, it cut through that nylon 550 cord just fine. All right. Well, that's that, and you're going to see this in a future video as well. So check out alamatadadesign.com and look at the Tring and make a cool gift for your favorite outdoorsman and camper. It sticks to your phone. Yes, Shay, it sticks to your phone, and it works magnetically. So what you do is you take this magnet that's here, and you stick the magnet to your phone so that you can remove the device off the back of your phone at any point that you want. And yeah, so Noah's showing you the adhesive strip there. But anyways, that's a cool product, and I'm looking forward to testing that out. I'm looking forward to putting it on my phone even and just having it. But this will be part of the 25,000 subscriber giveaway. Tring or Alamata Design is going to send me one to include in the prize, the gift basket, you could say, for the giveaway. So once we hit 25,000 subscribers, we'll do that contest. So you guys tell me what kind of contest you want to do. What could be some ideas and how you win these kinds of things, and I will mail those to you. And then can you write the name of the brand in the comments later? Yeah, we can do that. But it's let me say it again. ALAMA, like Alamata. ALAMATA design.com, all one word. So really cool product. But yeah, last thing I want to talk about today on our coffee talk is that I have a new pen pal. Let me take a bite of grits, swig of coffee, and then we'll move on. You want one, Shay? Cool. Yeah, go to their website and look. Like I said, they're very affordable, but also maybe you want to hold out and try to be one of these people in the contest and win it and get it for free. It's up to you. But I have a new pen pal in Central Florida, and this pen pal is blind. He is he's in grade school. He's a very cool little kid, that I knew and I kind of was an acquaintance with when I was teaching school in Central Florida. Very sweet kid, and very friendly, outgoing. But yeah, one of these kids that even though he was dealt, you know, a great impairment in his life and the inability to see anything, winning is better. Yeah, Shay. Well, Shay, if you have any ideas on what the contest should be, please let me know. This young man is extraordinary individual, and you know, just doesn't let that get in his way. He's still very outgoing and happy and friendly, and such a loving person. And I remember him very fondly. But anyways, his teacher wrote me an email and asked, he is looking for pen pals all around the country. And he's looking for people that can write him a letter and send him something that's tangible from their state, that kind of represents their state. You know, and it's just kind of a cool learning experience for him, and he's learning geography, he's learning culture, but he's doing it in a very kinesthetic way. And for someone who's seeing impaired, it's like, you know, a really cool experience for him. So the boys and I, this week at school, for their homeschool, one of their assignments are each going to be, they're going to have to write him a letter, and then the teacher's going to read him the letter, and we're going to include a piece of cotton. Now, all over southern Alabama right now, you'll see this stuff that's blooming out, and it is beautiful. It looks like snow. I love this time of year. If for nothing else, all the cotton is blooming, and you'll see just like hundreds of acres of this stuff, you know, all over, and it just like completely covers the ground. So what it is just a plant that grows out of the ground, obviously, and then this is the flower of the plant, and it's this like soft, you know, it's cotton, just like cotton balls basically. But inside here are seeds, and you can feel them. Each of these puffs of cotton like this has about 5 seeds in it, and you can feel them, and you can actually pull them out of there, and you can try to germinate them and grow your own cotton plant. But one of the other interesting things about the cotton plant that it's renowned for is that it has these sharp, pointy, I don't know if you can see, you see the point there, that back when people used to pick cotton by hand, it used to actually cause, you know, abrasions on their skin. And it was a very unpleasant experience to have to pick cotton and put them in sacks. People used to, you know, carry these big sacks around their shoulders, and they would walk up and down the rows, and they would pick the cotton and fill their sacks. But also it would cause, you know, back before they had leather gloves and all these things, in, you know, the 1800s, it would actually prick their skin, and at the end of the day they'd have all these little abrasions all over their hands from doing so. And that's where we get the saying, like, you know, he's like no cotton picking good, or something like that. Like, cotton picking was like seen as like a very unpleasant experience. So there was a saying in the South that kind of grew out of that cotton picking something, you know, and it's like that very unpleasant or abrasive person, or he's my cotton picking uncle or something. So anyways, that's kind of the history of that saying. But in Booker T. Washington's book, Up From Slavery, he talks about his family picking cotton. And it's so cool because I was able to like kind of relate to it a little bit better, because I drive through a lot of cotton fields every single day. And he talks about how his mother used to, when he was an infant, his mother, you know, they were all slaves growing up, but his mother would lay him on a little blanket or a little mat at the end of one row of cotton, and then she would pick her way down all the way down a row, come back and pick her way back the opposite row, and then check on him while he's laying there on the ground. But she had to do that because she couldn't not work. It wasn't like she could take, like, you know, this like leave of absence from being a slave. She had to continue to work and pick cotton and try to make you know, money and sustenance for her family. So anyways, it reminded me of that, and suffering, and tying it all back to the theme today was all about suffering and the benefits of suffering. But, well, last thing I want to announce before we close out this coffee talk is that 7 o'clock tonight Central Time, which is 8 Eastern Time, join me and Noah, and day 6 of our 9-day adventure is going to go live. You can watch with Noah and I and ask us questions, pick our brains, let us know what you think. You know, tell us your favorite day, ask us what it was like, what the hardest day was, or whatever. And we're watching 7 o'clock Central Time with you, and we'll do that. So we have a couple trips coming up. I also have some ideas formulating in my mind of what we're going to do in our next big adventure, or multi-day adventure. We're currently torture testing this knife right here. I think I showed it in the last coffee talk. This is from Walmart, and it cost all of $10. It's the Camillus fixed blade knife. We just got done dragging this thing down the road, a back country road, a dirt road, for about 1.5 miles or 2 miles. And we've been torturing this knife like nobody's business. But here it is. And it will pop up in one of the future videos here. You'll see probably later this week we'll actually publish that video about this knife here. So people seem to like those torture test videos of these knives that I buy. And so I'm going to make more of them, I suppose. And, you know, at the end of it, I get a destroyed knife I get to keep. So anyways, thanks guys for watching and tuning in. Like I said, if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to comment below if you have any ideas on the contest and the 25,000 subscriber giveaway. We'd be happy to hear them. So,
I'm gonna do a bottle.
What?
Bottle.
Oh yeah, we should try to open a bottle. Yeah, thank you. Where's the thing? Okay, here I have some kombucha. Mother kombucha. And it is a twist off, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the Tring thing they sent me and test out the bottle opener here. Is that how it goes? It's gonna explode. I don't know how old this kombucha is. All right, there it is. Our bottle opener on our Tring worked. Yay. All right, thank you Alamata Design for sending me this cool product. I'm excited to test it out and to give a fuller review. And thank you guys for watching Coffee Talk number 12. We will see you next Sunday, 9 a.m. for Coffee Talk 13. Have a great day and keep it real.